welcome back to somebody on WrestleMania and to AEW WrestleDream out of 10 from Tacoma, Washington. Among many title matches, Bryan Danielson put his title and also his career on the line against his former Blackpool Combat Club stablemate Jon Moxley in a huge show. So yeah, without further ado, let's get straight into things, and we'll start things off on the 0 hour where the RH TV title bout was the first match, and Cage dominated Atlantis for most of the bout while Luchador played the underdog. It was a fun but semi-predictable match. Both guys looked good, which is the most important thing, and Cage ends up becoming the new RH TV champion. Yeah, to be honest, he deserves a big title like that, so definitely not against it. I get 7 out of 10 from me. Before we moved on to Anna Jay against Harley Cameron, Cameron and Jay clashed in a second pre-show bout, but Jay once more came into the match with significant variance advantage. They put a lot of efforts into their performance, bar obviously high for a pay-per-view, and Jay picked up the win, but it looked like the ref had to help put Cameron's shoulder down. It was not something we should have seen, unfortunately, which kind of spoiled it. And finally, we got the Acclaimed against MXM. Rico joined Mason Madden and Mansoor as a special guest to take on Caster and Bowens, who were accompanied by Billy Gunn. Gunn referenced history before Rico and the bout started. They played a regular match with comedy moments, tossing some works and didn't. Gunn took out Rico as he Acclaimed set up the win with Mike Joel. Something different, to be fair, and Jay didn't mind at all. And then we got a very random 8-man tag match to close the 0 hour show. You just kind of felt like they were pushing everyone in. Cassie and Kyle O'Reilly teamed up with the Outrunners to take on the Premier Athletes and Dark Order. This is exactly what you would expect it to be. It had comedy spots and double team moves, a lot of tags, so everyone gets some ring time. Sterling Woods, Evil Uno, and Rocky Romero all got involved, and the babyface scored the victory. Overall, I'll give the whole 0 hour a 7 out of 10, let's say. I thought it was pretty decent on the whole. Cage winning the title, probably the highlight, but at the same time, a lot of it just kind of felt like unnecessary. Get people on the card and, just have some comedy spots, so it's fine. But yeah, maybe a bit drawn out. 7 out of 10. Moving on then to the main card, and we kick things off with Jay White against Adam Page. Two former members of Bullet Club squared off in the opening contest. Switchblade slapped Hangman to get under his skin, and it worked. The always angry Page came out right and beat him down mercilessly. This turned into a slow, methodical match that mostly consisted of Page dishing out punishment as the crowd tried to rally behind Jay. While the pace may be slower than expected, it felt appropriate because it allowed both men to properly sell every moment and move. When Switchblade came back and the crowd made a comeback, the crowd was popping for everything. This told a story and about every big move mattered, and their rivalry felt genuine when they fought. This is a perfect example of doing more with less, while ending up getting a win by countering a buckshot into a Blade Runner. Hangman feuders White celebrated. This was just great from start to finish. The way their story arcs kind of clashed, it led to the finish, and yeah, definitely going to lead to a few more matches down the line. I think really reheats Jay White as well. So yeah, great stuff. We then got Mariah against Willow Nightingale with the Women's World title on the line. It started with some relatively simple but fast-paced exchanges. Much to May's surprise, Willow pulled out the pounce early in the match. Both wrestlers showed a lot of aggression, but the Glamour was also taking plenty of opportunities to pose for adoring fans, mainly for Nigel McGuinness. This was an energetic and competitive contest that made both look great. As the only women's bout on the main card, they represented the division well. This had a fun final sequence with May hitting Storm Zero for the win. There was a match that started off well and kept getting better. So yeah, credit to both. I think the results never in doubt, but they put on a strong showing. And yeah, May continuing her title reign, 7 out of 10. We then got Jack Perry against Shabata. Shabata had a chance to win the gold here. The wrestler quickly forced the scapegoat to take a breather and regroup at ringside. They had a nice little exchange that led to Perry taking another break. This was a match comprised of short bursts of action, followed by moments of storytelling. Perry was a disrespectful young upstart who spat in the face of the respected veteran. While this was an enjoyable match, once the pace was established, it became a bit predictable. However, the way Perry won by countering Shabata's submission to pin was an interesting conclusion. Garcia made the save for Shabata during a post-match attack, which was quickly followed by MJF's return. As MJF and Daniel Garcia had a standoff, Perry hit Garcia with his title belt and walked away. MJF seized the opportunity to attack his rival. When Adam Cole returned to stop Garcia being attacked, he chased MJF out the ring and posed for an exciting crowd, helped Garcia up as they shook hands. And who'd have thought, when it all happened, MJF be the heel, Cole be the face. But finally looks like we're going to get that feud with Garcia and Perry and maybe the rest of the Elite in the mix as well. Kind of a bit rushed how it all happened, but you know what? I'm not against it at all. I'm so hyped to see where it all goes, and hopefully MJF and Cole can have that final blow-off match which I've been waiting for ages for. So yeah, I'm going to give this a 7 out of 10. The International Championship was then contested in a triple threat when Ospreay defended against Ricochet and Takeshita. As soon as the bell rang, Ospreay and Ricochet teamed up on the Alpha and sent him out of the ring. He returned a moment later to break up a fast-paced exchange. Big Takeshita played an excellent base for the High Flyers and used his power to find ways to counter their offense. He helped make this feel completely different from Ospreay and Ricochet's singles matches. All three men brought everything they had and left it in the ring. Takeshita did a fantastic job standing out despite not having the same agility as opponents. His power was on full display and the two sold for him well. Too many cool things happened to recap all of them. You simply need to seeing the bouts fully appreciate it. This had everything and a bit more. As Ospreay was preparing to take out Callis, Carl Fletcher attacked him with a screwdriver. The Alpha hit a running knee and got the pin to become the new champion. Fletcher hit his former friend with a Tiger Driver to show he had fully turned. And yeah, this was great stuff. I think Takeshita's so deserving of the title. Obviously going to get a major push and at least a very interesting direction of Ospreay, one that we all thought was coming, and yeah, protected Ricochet as well. So I thought, this is a great match, always would be with those three in the ring, and a really intriguing ending going forward as well. So yeah, gets an 8 out of 10 from me. Swerve then came out for a promo, but MVP and Shelton Benjamin weren't far behind. MJF made the same vague offer to him. Swerve turned it down, but it almost turned into a fight. Officials broke it up, and Swerve hugged Nana. We did not get the debut of Lashley, which was a bit surprising, but obviously it's all leading there, and when it comes, it's going to be a great reaction. So yeah, I'm not necessarily against them rushing it. But we then got a battle of two very different luchadors. Hologram and Mortos are no strangers, but this was the biggest pay-per-view match of both men in AEW so far. It was 2 out 3 falls, so they were pacing themselves instead of trying to pack as many spots as they could in a short period of time. Hologram won the first fall, but a gorilla press slam on the ramp slowed him down significantly. Mortis won the second, so it came down to the third. Hologram won after a long entertaining battle. Something different, wasn't necessarily expecting this in the card, but I thought great showcase for both these men. They both really impressed, and yeah, just a fun match, and yeah, looking forward to seeing what they do in the future, with more spotlight. 7 out of 10. We then got Darby Allin taking on Brody King in their grudge match, and the first notable thing was that King didn't appear to be using the house of back entrance. It didn't take long for them to take the fight out of the ring and use the sets. King used the sets on top of Allen and stood on them to gain pressure. The majority of this was King dishing out a lot of punishment while Allen made occasional comebacks. It's a common pattern in matches of these kind of size disparity between opponents, especially when big guys are heel. Allen was eventually able to win after 2 coffin shots and one of them on the sets. This was good, but it felt like it was lacking something that's kind of hard to explain. A long-time rival shook hands to a round of applause. So yeah, it was good. But yeah, I just felt like it's kind of missing something to end compared to a lot of stuff on this card. So I'll give it a 7 out of 10. We then got the Young Bucks against Private Party. Quen and Cassidy had a special intro video before they challenged the Bucks. The Bucks goaded them into a fight before the match started. They battled on the stage where Quen took out everything. With a dive out onto the tunnel. Once it got started, Zay almost won with a springboard crossbody. Nick and Matt regained control and used their brand of double team offense. Most of this was standard Bucks, but there was also a standpoint performance from Cassidy. He had several impressive counters and moves that kept the crowd invested. All 4 men did good work, but it felt like this was designed to make Private Party look good, and in a way it succeeded. They've been patient, and AEW's finally portraying them the right way, but at the same time I would love to see them finally get the win here that they deserve. Both teams had several close calls before the match finally ended with the Bucks winning with a TK driver. Zay was sobbing after the loss, so maybe it'll lead to something bigger, but at the time it just kind of felt like they overhyped it and then just didn't deliver. But then we got Mark Briscoe against Jericho for the ROH title, but yeah, Big Bill was also lurking at ringside. The code of honour was not observed, both men throwing shots. This was more about Briscoe trying to make Jericho pay for bringing up his brother than it was about the title. When Bill interfered, OC showed up and drove him off for a few orange punches. From that point it was a fair singles match until Brian Keith showed up and attacked Briscoe. Rocky Romero drove the bad apple away right before Briscoe put the Ocho through a table Bill set up earlier. Jericho recovered and used a J Jeller to get a 2 count. Mark was incensed after taking several punches. He unloaded and hit the own J Jeller for the win. It's a solid encounter, but won't stand out much due to the rest of the card being so good. And just still don't like ROH stuff on the card, but I thought the whole Jay Briscoe story, I think they played into it really nicely. So yeah, I'm going to give it on that basis a 6 out of 10. We then got Danielson and Moxley in the main event. It started at roughly 11:20 p.m. Eastern, so the crowd was showing signs of fatigue, and yeah, let's be honest, it's probably too long, but they still looked excited for the match. Mox attacked Danielson as he was posing for the entrance. The brawl at ringside as the final countdown continued to play. Mox was as aggressive as we've ever seen him and did an amazing job, looking like he genuinely wanted to end Danielson's career, injuring him. Shafir interfered several times whenever Mox could distract the rest. She also removed some of the padding at ringside to expose the concrete floor. While this was a good match, it was no way a traditional bout. They tried to make this feel violent and personal instead of going for technical exchanges. Even Nigel said he was split because Moxie was being so dislikable. They tried to inject as much drama into this as possible while not trying to make the ending too obvious. Mox and Danielson didn't make him do it before hitting a pile driver and locking in a choke. Once the ref decided Danielson could no longer compete, Mox was declared winner and champ. They knew was the way it ended was was a bit anticlimactic, but we knew it was coming. Wheeler, Yuta and Allen saved Danielson from a beatdown, but Yuta then turned on Allen and took him out, and Mox handed Yuta a plastic bag and he suffocated Danielson with it. Allen was duct taped to the rope and forced to watch Castagnoli crush Danielson's neck in the chair. More people finally showed up to drive Mox's crew away. And yeah, this gets an 8 out of 10 for me. I thought this was great stuff. You know, the violence at the end, we knew it was coming. It's heartbreaking to see. The crowd was flat. I think that all added to it. And, you know, that breakdown at the end, you know, really crowning Mox. Yeah, Yuta turning as well. I think it's probably the best thing for him right now as well. So yeah, I'm going to give it all an 8 out of 10. Obviously gutted to see Danielson's go out, but I'm so excited for the reign of Mox and where it's all going to lead with his brutal heel stable that he's got going at the moment. So yeah, great stuff, 8 out of 10. Overall, AEW WrestleDream gets an 8 out of 10 from me. Yeah, really enjoyed this pay-per-view. I thought, you know, the quality throughout was exceptional. Love the Hangman Jay White stuff. Love the main event. Yeah, so many good matches on there. For me, there was very few matches that didn't really deliver on the card. I thought, you know, throughout it's just a strong card. Maybe the length was a bit of a question, but, you know, on the whole,
guys, that's it for this video. Thanks very much for watching. Remember to like, share, subscribe. Follow us on our socials. Link in the description below for daily wrestling news, meme and content. Subscribe to our other channels on screen right now. That'd be greatly appreciated. Thanks very much for watching. Peace out.